What's good, y'all? Second of the three Reggies, Regice time. If you are new here, welcome, hello. Quick little disclaimer to check the description down below for a link to the Google Sheet, which I use in all of my videos. It's very important, and you should definitely check out the move buffs and changes section here on the bottom, and you can check out the extensive move changes in this hack. Pretty much every move is buffed or changed, so those are all super important, and you should really check it out. So that being said, I love the Reggies. I said this in the Reggie Rock video, but I'll quickly repeat it. I literally have a plushie shrine of the Reggies right next to my wall, right next to my computer and stuff. So I really fucking love these guys. So yeah, they were very underpowered, and so I wanted to give them some really fucking cool and great buffs. Keep in mind, the power levels in this ROM hack, it's not really that crazy. It's nice to have tanky mons like this, if anything, because of all the ridiculous offense in the hack. Power creep and whatnot. That being said, all three of the Reggies have an ability that makes them less weak to their weaknesses. So, Solid Rock, Resilient, and Filter all reduce the damage taken from super effective attacks. Not to mention, this is important, Ice type actually has resistances in this hack. Ice now resists Ground, Flying Dragon, and Ice. And you can see my explanations for those if you're curious on the Google Sheet. Eventually, I will make a video probably detailing why, but for now, I'll leave it at that. But yeah, that's great. That means that he has 4 actual fucking resistances. And those are all very useful, especially because the power of, like, for example, dragon moves is much higher in this hack. So something else resisting those is kind of needed, honestly, just because of how strong they are. And, just ground and flying, those are so useful. In ice, I mean, those are all really good offensive types, so great resistances there. And then as for the weaknesses, those will all deal only 1.5 times damage. When you have Resilient active. Keep in mind, in this ROM hack, you do have access to infinite use ability capsules, so you can and should be switching between your abilities as you need. That is intended. So not only do you have Resilient, which is obviously just a very self-explanatory strong ability, you can use that with Weakness Policy, you can use that just to live hits, you can use that with Assault Vest and just live forever with, like, max defense, max special attack, or max HP, max special attack, or max HP, max defense, whatever it may be. You can also use Assault Vest with Volt Switch, which is really great for Regice. But also Parabolic Charge, which will heal you. Parabolic Charge, being Electric Giga Drain, so all that fun stuff. And then your other secondary ability is Refrigerate, which is very, very powerful. So not only do you already have an incredible 150 base special attack now, you also have access to stuff like Tri-Attack and Hyper Beam. And I actually didn't even consider this while making the video, but technically Ancient Force also is Refrigerate viable as well, which is pretty cool. So I'll go into what those do. So Explosion, while not viable in Nuzlocke whatsoever, is something that trainers can use against you, or that you can use if you're not doing a Nuzlocke, which is now a 250 base power special move that always crits and bypasses Protect. So essentially that's a 375 base power move. If you add in Refrigerate boost, that's a 450 base power special move coming off of 150 base special attack, okay? It's really fucking strong, coming off Regice especially, and that's just really fun. It also bypasses special attack drops from something like, for example, Hyper Beam, which now drops your special attack stat, so does Zap Cannon. Hyper Beam with Refrigerate becomes a 192 base power special ice type move, which is just fucking immense, and it will absolutely fucking power through resists with ease, just because of how strong that is. Keep in mind, after the, oh shit, that should not be black. After the second, that should be white, hold on. After the second use of, if you're listening to these in the background and you wonder what the fuck I'm talking about the formatting of the sheets. But yeah, it's just great with Hyper Beam, very, very powerful nuke option right there, and then you can always just switch out to reset the special attack drops. Or with Refrigerate, the second Hyper Beam is 96 base power, so that's not bad at all. That's very strong still, so you can use it twice, even 3 times in a row for great power. All right, awesome move right there. Otherwise, you have access to Tri-Attack and Ancient Force. Tri-Attack being a 105 base power move overall now, so it's 35 base power, but it hits 3 times, so that becomes 126 base power with Refrigerate, which is very, very powerful to have 0 drawbacks, and it also has the 27% chance overall to status the opponent with, one of the 3 statuses, so that's all great. And then you also have Ancient Force, which is a 110 base power move that changes type depending on which plate you hold, that I've been giving to, like, Ancient type Pokemon, so the Regis, Probopass, Claydol, Unknown, Pokemon like that. And that's really great, obviously, because not only is that just becoming a very powerful stab move, with Refrigerate, that's what, 132 base power, you also can use that with a plate to get any coverage move. Keep in mind, your coverage is already fucking insane. You have everything you would ever need. You got Aura Sphere, Focus Blast, Earth Power, Energy Ball, Thunderbolt, Thunder, Volt Switch, Charge Beam, Water Pulse, even Freeze Dry is great. Psychic, Shadow Ball, you know, Flash Cannon. All these moves are buffed or changed. For example, Flash Cannon is very powerful, one-time base power now. Dazzling Gleam. Really, you've got everything you'll ever need. So Ancient Force is only useful for like maybe water or fire or a rock or something, but it's situational. But the good thing I didn't realize while making the video, while making these, is that actually Ancient Force does work with Refrigerate. So you could just use that as your Refrigerate move if you're not using the stab option. If you're not using the plate option, excuse me. Keep in mind, all of the Regis do also have access to a reliable recovery move, with Regirock having Sediment, Regice having Recover, and Registeel having Fortify. Every Pokemon in this hack has access to reliable recovery because healing items are disabled in the hack, so I want to give every Pokemon the option to heal itself with a move. Stuff like Aurora Beam is great, dropping the special attack and physical attack of the opponent by 1. Freeze Dry is obviously very powerful, 85 base power, super effective on water. Frost Breath is overall 98 base power, and you can use that with something like Hyper Beam. So as I was saying earlier, you can click Hyper Beam, or the AI can click Hyper Beam, and then the next turn can click Explosion and completely ignore the special attack drop from Hyper Beam. Same goes for Frost Breath, obviously, but that's not nearly as powerful as Explosion, but it's a very powerful move nonetheless, being overall 98 base power, so that's great with Hyper Beam. And then something like Z-Lock-On is also great because Z-Lock-On gives you +2 special attack. You also have Calm Mind and Iron Defense for a setup as well. Keep in mind, setup PP is highly nerfed in this hack, so setup is a lot harder. Not to mention, the AI has many ways to counteract setup in this hack, but it's still a good thing to have nonetheless. Lastly, you do have priority and access. You do have access to priority in Frost Flurry, which basically all special ice types have. So that's a great option for your 15 base speed, of course. Not to mention, you can just slap a Quick Claw on this motherfucker and go to town because Quick Claw is now always triggering. Quick Claw will always trigger, and it will. Sorry, the video looping threw me off, but I'm basically down here anyways. But point is, Quick Claw always triggers, but it disappears after the first use. So yeah, awesome buffs for Regice, from the ice type buffs to the abilities to the special attack to the move pool. My man is just an absolute fucking goat. You really love to see it. I love all 3 of the Regis, so I'm really happy I could give all 3 of them some much needed love. But yeah, that's about it. I'll leave it off there. There's a couple other things I could mention, but I won't waste the time. Again, just check out the description down below. Last thing I can mention, I guess that's worth mentioning in the video, is Freezer Burn is really cool. Freezer Burn is a 2-turn move that will always burn. So that's 180 base power ice type move that will always burn. So that's really awesome for utility and just to be very strong. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much for listening. There's a couple more things I could mention, but again, I implore you to just check out the changes for yourself in the Google Sheet down below. You know, while you're looking through the sheets, just look up what the moves do. You'll eventually get the hang of it and remember them for other Pokemon. But those are super important. So yeah, and I have all kinds of other little guides. Like I have an ability guide for all the new abilities. You know, you can click this and it'll tell you what it does. I have all kinds of stuff for, you know, type changes and held item buffs and all kinds of other really fun stuff. So if you enjoyed this at all, consider subscribing. You definitely should be if you listen this far into the video. And then make sure you also drop a like on the video, leave your comment down below. That would help with the algorithm. And also, Relic have hit 1K views, so thank you very much for that. All right, I'll leave it up there. Thank you so much for listening, everybody, and goodbye.